Good morning.
Good morning.
Busy weekend.
It was a very busy weekend, especially if you live in Logansport. Let us know what you guys did last weekend because there was so many absolutely amazing things happening in this community, and we're going to talk about the event that we participated in. Can you tell these guys, what are you doing?
500, 600 times. I got a
Carpal tunnel in your elbow?
in my elbow.
So our family had the fabulous opportunity to participate in Around the Table, which was a grand opening event for our brand new Kitchen and Pavilion.
It was fun too.
It was so much fun. So if you haven't been back to Logansport, our farmers market is a huge, gigantic hit. And this pavilion especially was constructed to house the farmers market. The pavilion is the kitchen is what they call an incubator kitchen. So it is an absolutely fabulous asset to our community. And they approached us to represent the Italian American community. So what did we serve, Dad?
We had homemade spaghetti sauce with meatballs and bread.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I mean, I'm the one who always gets us into these situations because everybody knows me and everybody knows I love being Italian and everybody knows I love history and everybody knows how much I love Logansport. So first and foremost, I get us into another event. What's the first thought when I approached you with the idea? Hey, we need meatballs for about 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's like, not gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. And we fiddle-farted around. We tried to find some other groups of people to represent the community. Nobody was up for the task of making that much food in that little of a time.
Yeah.
So I strong-armed Dad and Uncle Bill into it, and we pulled it off. So start to finish, okay?
Yeah, well.
Let's talk about your tour. We met Ryan Bullhouse, the executive director of the Kitchen and Pavilion. Fabulous human being. If you haven't met him, make sure to hop into the facility. He is worth meeting. His energy is through the roof. So we meet Ryan, and we were fortunate enough to get a tour of the facility. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Why?
It was it was a kitchen of anybody that loves to cook. It was
like a playground.
Kitchen of dreams, yeah. Everything and anything that any chef would ever want, that, and not just a casual home cook like me, but it was intimidating. The equipment was so amazing, but it made the job a lot easier because we could make enough sauce in one vat. That tilt skillet was friggin' amazing. It was like you needed a boat or to store it because it was so big. We had a ball. And,
How many people did we have through the couple weeks we worked on this project helping us out? I think day one there was 8 of us in there.
Only 4 of us were working though.
Everybody has their roles in this operation, and mine is not labor.
No. But you had all the decorations lined up. You had all the organized part lined up. Even Joey, our son, come over and he ran the crank of, I don't know, 30, 40 some cans of tomatoes. Yeah.
Okay, but back up. Okay, so we get this request to cook approximately 350 to 500 tapas servings, which are small bites. They're going to be given away for free at this event. We couldn't believe that, and we're going to cover all your costs. We want the Italian community is such a big part of Logansport's history. We need to have Italian food. So
the
first
Community
thing,
Foundation.
This is the Cass County Community Foundation. And before we go much further, I think we should first and foremost say a humongous thank you.
Yes.
The Cass County Community Foundation funnels so much good.
Deanna
Crispin, you are a rock star, and every member of the board of directors over there brings so much good to this community.
And Deanna's whole family. She told me every event She said the kids, the grandkids, the husband, everybody knows.
The son-in-laws,
and
every one of them were helping that
and they
day.
were there all night helping everybody.
They were setting up.
That was amazing.
And I mean, I think her youngest grandchild is like maybe 7.
Yeah.
All the way to the brother or the son-in-laws.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, one of those little boys, those little grandkids, was running a blower through the whole pavilion before and after. But yeah, she's just a force to be reckoned with. The amount of good that if you live in Logansport, you have been able to enjoy, specifically because of the Cass County Community Foundation, Deanna Crispin, and the board of directors there, is unquantifiable. They are such an amazing asset. They give over $400,000 of scholarships to Cass County kids every single year. That by itself deserves a great big thank you and a heartfelt gratitude.
Did you ever
to them.
hear how many people
I did, yeah.
totally turned up?
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah, they had they estimated between 750 people to 1,000, and they had over 1,600 people show up to this grand opening event. Every single piece of food served and every single drink, they had lemonade and water, was all free of charge. I think they had 9 different, unique cultural cuisines being served. I should have brought notes to the table today, so I apologize to all the fabulous restaurants and cultural heritages that were represented. I can't list us all off, but the group was fabulous. And Logansport showed up to this grand opening, and it was awesome. But let's take it back to the beginning, because the first thing you got to do is we've cooked this recipe. Dad and Uncle Bill have worked on perfecting this meatball recipe for years, and then before that it was Aunt Mary and Aunt Angie, and before that it was somebody else, great grandma, and just through the years everybody puts their little touch on it. But this recipe is not for 500 meatballs. So the very first step of this was working with Ryan, who's the executive director of the Kitchen and Pavilion, to actually scale our home recipe.
Chef Ryan,
excuse me. Scale that recipe up to serve that many meatballs. So that was interesting. Dad was horrified because he had actually shared our secret family recipe with someone. So Ryan, nobody can know. You think you were having nightmares about that, weren't you?
yeah, I don't know.
No.
Don't know.
Okay. So then the next step, we figure out how much meat we need. The next step is to actually find it in Cass County, because this was within the last 2 weeks. Because in typical Graybeal fashion, we were fully prepared, but we waited till the 9th hour to get going on it. We just have so much going on.
A lot of that stuff you can't buy too early. You can't buy meat early. You don't really. I prefer not to freeze it and then thaw it if I can get around it. Royal Center locker plant made fresh ground beef for me.
Shout out to Royal Center Locker Plant.
Yes. Sean over at DNR had the Italian sausage.
Shout out to Sean.
Fresh, and parsley, loads of parsley. Fresh, it'd come in fresh off the truck. That just was pure luck.
Now let's talk about what you and Uncle Bill provided in terms of the ingredients, because if you hopped in to get meatballs from us, I kind of gave you the rundown about where we had sourced our ingredients, and that's just a cool story in itself and a huge reason why the food is so good, because we put good things in it. Dad was always a huge advocate, and I know this just as our whole family, that the food that you eat is the one place you do not sacrifice quality. You want food to taste good, you gotta have good ingredients. So let's talk about what you and Uncle Bill provided from your own stocks.
Well, garlic.
Okay.
Come out of Bill's pod. Cheese.
The cheese is special.
Italian
we
cheese.
order the cheese 1 to 1.5 times a year. It's imported directly from Italy. We have a great shop up in Little Italy in Chicago that the boys go to called Guido's. And so it's, do we even want to tell them? It's specialty cheese. It's not your normal Parmesan Reggiano.
No. But we did that, the cheese, and
you have some other herbs and spices that we're garden from.
Yeah. The dried herbs, basil,
Dried
oregano,
herbs, your basil,
Italian
your oregano,
seasoning.
all your Italian seasonings.
Yeah.
They came out of Mike and Bill Grabio's gardens, but the garlic, I mean, just the simple fact that the Uncle Bill had enough garlic to source for 500 servings of meatballs. So let's talk about you and Uncle Bill's garden, because this is a precise art form, and I often think that garden gets more care than me and Joey ever did. I'm teasing.
No.
You guys, when did you get into gardening?
Oh, years. I kind of grew up with it. Grandma always had a huge garden. They didn't have a lot of money, so she grew it and canned it, and green beans and tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers.
Did she do all of the spices and the herbs, different stuff like that too?
Yeah.
Great grandma, they even had a grape bush, and they would make their own wine back in the day. Like one of my favorite stories from childhood, and Aunt Jackie just lost it. She was furious. Was my cousin Caitlin and I were eating grapes off the grapevine, and the grapevine was not for eating. The grapevine was for wine, and Grandma was chasing us. Great Grandma was chasing us through the yard with a shoe, and Aunt Jackie was furious. We were just about 4 years old.
Yeah.
Love that story. Okay, so you guys put so much love and care into your garden. So what's the process with the garlic?
Well, you plant it in the fall, and you pick it around 4th of July.
Where do you
It
get a
dries
seed?
out.
I mean, what do you plant to get a garlic? Do you just plant a clove?
Yes,
Right?
you just take
Inside
a
your clove of garlic is your
garlic
seed.
head, and you break it apart, and you plant each clove. Makes a new head for the next season.
And then you dry it, and it
Yep.
lasts all year long.
Yep.
And I always love, like, the picture that I got, I can't remember if it was you or Uncle Bill, but it was like an 8-foot folding table, and the entire thing from side to side is covered with cloves of garlic. Heads of garlic, not cloves. Heads of garlic that are drying
heads of
out.
garlic.
Dad's
So
biggest...
I just did mine yesterday. I cut, because it's all dried out now, so I cut it down, cut all the dried tops off of it and got rid of them. So do the math. There was 112 heads divided by
8 cloves.
12 months. How many does that give you a month?
I am not good at math. 10?
Yeah, 10 a month, basically 2-3 a week,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. How many?
But out of that, I'll bust up enough of those to get another 100 to plant for next year.
Yeah.
Those are my seeds. Part of them are.
It's amazing the difference in the taste and the flavor of a homegrown head of garlic versus anything you're gonna buy, even from I feel like specialty stores.
Yeah.
It just can't even compare it. Now, DNR does do a great job of having really good
but
quality.
you got to stop and think. You're pulling it out of the ground one day. Well, in garlic's case, you got to let it cure for several weeks before you can eat it right away, but it's different. But tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, green beans, any of that stuff, you take it off the vine, you take it in, you wash it, and you cook it today, tomorrow, whatever, it's fresh. And you go to the grocery and, tomatoes, peppers, wherever, you can look anymore, everything's got a sticker on it. Well, it comes from Chile, or it comes from California, or it comes from South America or whatever. Well, it's got to be picked, it's got to be processed, it's got to be packaged, got to be shipped. You don't know how long. Every day it's losing flavor, taste, texture.
So we covered the garlic. Now, one thing that we were super disappointed in, but it probably ended up being a blessing in disguise, is we didn't have in-season tomatoes, or your tomato sauce would have been 100% homemade from homegrown food items.
Yeah.
But and don't give away any of the details, but tell them the story about the tomatoes that you and Uncle Bill grow.
Oh, the seeds are heirloom. They come over from Italy when my grandma and grandpa come over. And actually, these come from a close friend of mine, the Ritchie family. grandfather brought them over, and they was shared with me years ago. But basically, when you go through the garden this year, I'll pick the biggest, prettiest tomato and keep it separate, and it gets perfect ripeness on the counter. I'll slice it, scrape all the seeds out, clean them, dry them, and that's what I'll plant for next year. And that's been going on for
pretty much my whole life.
Probably 100 years now.
Yeah. And I think if there's a Richie out there, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know a lot of you guys are following along with us. I think they came at very similar times. The Mitica family, which is Dad and Uncle Bill's grandma, my great-grandmother, Great-Grandpa Rocco. Great-Grandpa Rocco was here in 1919. Grandma was 1921. We kind of have some conflicting evidence there. And I'm fairly certain the Richies were in a very similar time frame. So somebody from the family let me know.
Yeah, they ended up, Annie, Grandma Richie was right next door to Grandma. So, we have known the family since we were old enough to walk.
So those same seeds, and I know like so many of our Italian friends, they have the same story. Those same seeds have just been saved and replanted over and over and over for 100 years. And so these are the best tomatoes you'll ever experience.
So when I make
in your life.
sauce at home, I'll use my canned tomatoes from that, which, the canned sauces that I bought for the event were, I didn't buy it by price. I bought it by quality, and it was very good.
Many people.
You're kind of partial to your own home canned stuff.
So many people were. I loved the stories that each and every one of you that were coming to eat with us got to share with me, and so many people had followed along with us online. And I had so many people. My great-grandma used contadina. I was so happy. It made me feel like I was a kid again to see all that contadina on the counter. And so that was really nice. I got so many great compliments about this tastes like what my great-grandma used to make. And I haven't had a meatball like this since great-grandma was alive. And I've got a cookbook, and there's some people will remember it. I don't. I'm too young. But years and years ago, down southern Indiana, they used to have an Italian festival. I think it was in Columbus or someplace down in there. Well, somehow or other, I acquired a little paperback cookbook from there. And with ideas out of that cookbook and my memory of my grandma and my mom making sauce, I created this sauce recipe to duplicate what I'd had as a kid. And I had to play around with it for quite a while, but I finally got it, and I'm going to stick to it forever. What is your best tip for cooking homemade pasta sauce? And don't give away any of our secrets. I have mine in my mind, and this is where everybody's pasta sauce goes wrong.
Yeah.
You don't cook it long enough.
Yep.
It's a slow, long simmer to cook all that water away.
Yeah.
If your pasta sauce isn't there, it's because you didn't cook it long enough. So
Right.
I feel like, and this is why you will not see me eating pasta sauce anywhere but my dad's, my Uncle Bill's, or my Aunt Linda's. Because it very, very often, now I will say I will eat some Italian families around Logansport, but it's never cooked long enough.
There's a few good places, but if my rule of thumb is if it's an Italian restaurant with an Italian chef, I will feel all right eating it.
Yeah.
Mateo's down Noblesville.
Mateo's is great. All that places. We should go there. Actually.
Over in Lafayette.
La Scala.
La Scala's in Lafayette. Yeah.
We haven't been there forever. Yeah. If you've been to La Scala in the last couple of years, let me know how it was.
Yes.
We haven't been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
You used to, back when I was at Purdue, they even had Italian servers, which I was very impressed with, speaking in Italian. Okay, so we've gone through like sourcing our ingredients, home growing. You guys put so much attention into your gardening. So we get a tour of the kitchen. Dad and Uncle Bill were legit drooling. I think it's very important to highlight that this whole facility was only possible by the hard work and the successful grant writing of the Cass County Community Foundation.
Yeah.
And the best part of that whole venue is that your facilities carry state-of-the-art equipment, and they are available for rental for just $15 per hour for anyone, regardless of what you are using it for. So if you need to cook for a class reunion, if you're working on testing out a restaurant concept, or you have a restaurant where you're selling, let's say like granola bars online, you can rent that facility for $15 an hour for any or all of those reasons. You need it for more than that. You want to host a private event. You're going to bring in your own service. You're going to bring in your own catering company, for example. But the whole goal of the Kitchen and Pavilion, and I'm really going to drive this home because this is an issue in Logansport, is affordability for all. This is a space and a place that any and all of us can afford to use. And there's a big beauty in that. The pavilion is available for rent. I'm almost nervous to say the number, but it's extremely affordable compared to other rental facilities in our community. So whether it's a large or small event, make sure you hop into them, get their pricing, because this is all about affordability, which is why the event was free. Love it. Mm-hmm. So the Graybeal brothers are just drooling. What was your favorite piece of equipment that you saw?
Well, that's what I started getting ready to say. I don't know. I'm so used to the common stuff. It was intimidating. It really was. I mean, it's just like, the tilt
skillet.
Tilt skillet.
It's called a tilt skillet.
Yeah.
And then the tilt skillet is a giant. You're going to see some photos in the video. It's a giant, essentially a tub that functions as a skillet and a pot at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can cook up to 40 quarts of liquid in
40 gallons.
I'm sorry, 40 gallons. Yeah. That's a big difference. Jeez, Mollie. Yeah. You can cook up to 40 gallons of liquid in this one piece of equipment.
Yeah. I don't know how many people went through there and said, man, I could just climb right in there and take a bath in that.
Now, you seared off, all the meatballs went through this tilt skillet too.
Yeah. Well,
searing.
So yes, it was, the oven, stovetop was awesome out in the other part. Warming tray, that worked out great. Warming cabinet, I don't know what you call it. I don't have that, but we had everything cooked and warmed and sealed up the bread, the meatballs, everything, and just slid them in the cabinet and they stayed warm. And
for our family that really loves, we love cooking, we love entertaining. So many people that are watching today have been to one of our private food events that we've participated in. This facility was like a total game changer because it made cooking for 500 people the same as cooking for 10, which was the craziest part about it.
Yeah.
My role in all of this is always much more the host. I always do the decor. Kind of set the ambiance and the mood, what you would call front of house, but more for events.
Yeah.
And so I was there for moral support and company and laughs.
Yeah, we had some of our help.
Cousins, we had cousins show up. My daughter was there. My brother was there. We even had a couple employees that really love food that ended up coming to help too.
Brent and Chet and me and Bill was down there for the actual making of the meatballs. And that went so slick. That's where the elbow come in, or the shoulder come in play.
So how many meatballs did we end up with?
I'm not 100% sure.
I know.
I think it was close to 500.
478 meatballs was what Billy Graybeal told me we ended up with. And those meatballs were gone in 1 hour and 46 minutes. Logansport, you rock. I called it at like 2 o'clock when I showed up to start decorating our booth. I said, you mark my words, I told my husband, we will be out of food by 5. And he was like, you really think so? It starts at 3. I said, guarantee you. Well, at 15 till 3, we had like 25 people in our line. And you guys killed it. And we had such an amazing, overwhelming, humbling, positive response to the food. What was the funnest part for you?
It was a blur. I mean, I
was.
had my back. I didn't even get to see the people because I had my back to it, putting that one meatball and a spoonful of sauce in a cup as fast as I could dish it out.
You wouldn't believe how messy that side of our booth was too.
Right.
What a mess. And somehow I got stuck cleaning all that up. That was rude.
You did not.
I did too. I cleaned all of the cheese and all of the sauce off that table.
No, because I had the tables done while you were down there visiting with Isabel and Paxton down at the social.
I know.
Yeah.
People's social was popping that day too.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Isabel and Paxton. She brought them on because they are just awesome community people. They are always everywhere at every event. Love those guys.
Yep.
Love those guys.
It was a great night.
My favorite part of that whole event was the amount of people that told me it reminded them of their grandma, reminded them of their great grandma. There were some other really fabulous positive comments. I'm not going to stay online because I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But the food was loved, and
The biggest mistake we made was the cheese.
The biggest mistake we made was not making more meatballs.
Well, that too. But the cheese, I was just cringing because we value this cheese as Italians. It's
like gold dust to us.
well, yeah, and we get big half wheels of it and split it up between the family, and you keep it wrapped up, you keep it sealed, and it stays good for a long period of time until you run out. But so we're trying to put cheese on every little bowl, just a shot of this special cheese, and then the piece of bread. So you got a little cup, you got a spoon of sauce, you got a nice big meatball, and you got a piece of bread to dip it in, and cheese on top. Well, the cheese was getting out of hand because we didn't really think that much
put it in the right vessel.
Well,
should have never been in a shaker.
Well, that was going to make it easy, in my opinion. But the humidity affects cheese, grated cheese, quite bad. And I just kept seeing dollar signs with all this cheese laying all over the counter, and I'm a tight.
Were you like?
I'm a tight ass. Well, I was scooping it off and throwing it in my mouth.
Yeah. So this is not your everyday cheese.
Yes, I can't miss it. So we should have had a big tray, like that. Set all the meatballs there, then put the cheese, so we at least would have had it contained in one spot. But
this isn't your everyday cheese. It's
so anyway.
Some of the best cheese in the world. It comes right out of a very specific region in Italy. It takes a long time for it to age to where it needs to be. It's fabulous. You will never see me eat the green plastic bottle of cheese because
no,
that stuff tastes like sawdust compared to this. You actually,
right?
Yeah, you've never really had real cheese till you eat Italian cheese, in my opinion. We saw so many awesome friends from the past. I was happy to see. I got to see everybody. That's the best part of my role in this family.
I had a lot of guys coming up around there saying, "Oh, meatballs were good," but I didn't get really talk to them that much. But it was fun. It was a fun night. Everybody was busy. I would have loved to have the opportunity to
eat other foods.
Well, and to talk to some of the other vendors, because what little bit people brought me from those other places was amazing.
I heard so many wonderful things. I loved this place. It was a wonderful, very unique cultural spread of ethnicities in the food. There was everything from Polish food to Indian food. We had Caribbean food.
That Polish sausage somebody brought over.
Of course, a variety of great Hispanic food, which Logansport really does a fabulous job of.
Yeah, it was great.
The Polish sausage, I know, was a huge hit.
Ooh, it
I
was
apologize
amazing.
to all the other food vendors as well. I just didn't get a leave. And then you're exhausted
Well,
by the time it's over.
Kelly, she swapped meatballs for. She took meatballs and brought back their dish, and that was nice. That's all. That's the only way I got to. She goes, "No, I brought that for you. I already had mine." So that was nice. When Tim and Kelly showed up, my nephew and his wife, that was a big help, and that kind of relieved some pain. So
Yeah,
we had a lot of family.
Periodically, throughout time, the Graybiel family has participated in food events. Not to this scale, but of course we did the Mangiare per l'Arte, which was the Italian dinners. Those fundraisers stretched, I think, about 7 years. And we were cooking for up to 352 was our final event on
Yeah,
there.
but on those we had all the other families.
We did,
were
but we
involved,
also did a variety of small private events, and very recently hosted a private dinner event with a partnership with one of the local bars, People Social, actually. And so we move as a family unit, and sometimes it's really great. Most of the time it's fabulous. Sometimes it's pretty volatile and people want to fight each other. Typical family. And but through the years, it's not out of the ordinary. Tim and Kelly are the closest. So shout out to Tim and Kelly Graybiel. They come up from Indianapolis for almost every event. They've got a ton of food experience. They both used to work in the restaurant industry. And
high-end restaurants.
High-end restaurants. So
Down in
they are always
Indianapolis,
such a humongous help. My cousin Jim Moore, who I know watches from St. Louis, he has come over in the past to help us out as well. But it's all hands on deck, so you're going to hear Joey's going to be there. You're going to definitely Mollie, Mike, and Bill. And then there's going to be a variety of other cousins, because that just makes our machine work like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
We all know how to kind of navigate together.
Well, Jessica was down there.
Jess Schlingoff, so sorry, owner of the brand new Anne Marie Charcuterie Company. Give Jessica a like and a follow. She is of the Mitica family. We're so proud of her charcuterie company.
Her charcuteries are absolutely gorgeous.
They're stunning. I mean,
Yes.
they're truly works of art, but the food
And delicious.
is just to another level. My favorite product that she's got is the dessert tray, because she's got so many homemade desserts and pastries on there that I just crave. It makes my mouth water. So make sure you give Jessica, Anne Marie Charcuterie, a like and follow, and give her a call the next time you're hosting an event and you just want to take it to the next level. Justin Melton was there, another Mitica cousin.
Yes.
Loved that.
So he was on duty at the fire department.
Yeah.
So
Fun story, fun fact, we have, for at least 35 years, we have had a family reunion with the Mitica family, and it is this Saturday. So we're going to see everybody again this Saturday and eat more great Italian food. Yeah. It's actually the funnest day of the year. I think every one of my cousins and I know I do.
Yeah.
We all look forward to it. Last year we just lost our final matriarch, which was they were second generations, but their parents were the first generation from the Mitica family, and that would have been Aunt Mary, was the last one to pass, right?
and Ange.
Ange.
Yeah.
And our family, Josephine Graybiel, Josephine Mitica, was the oldest child of the first generations, and she passed away in the 80s. So that's kind of our connection to the Mitica family. So super excited about family reunion. What else? What other takeaways did we want to share? It's just such a joy and a pleasure. I think how our family approaches food is so much more than just something you eat. I think just our whole lives kind of revolve around it. We love food. We love good food.
Yeah,
we love good ingredients.
It's crazy with the stuff you see on TV, on YouTube about food, about this. Everything is 30-minute meals or quick fix, or 6 dishes in 15 minutes, and that, I'm sorry.
All
You gotta
good
put a
things
little
are
bit
worth the
more-
wait, guys.
Yes, and that's part of, for me, it's kind of like the time to relax from the regular happenings of the day, and I want to start chopping. I want to chop at my own pace. I don't want to take something out of a jar or whatever.
Well, let's talk about what's the most important ingredient in good food.
Yeah, good ingredients.
No, what's the most
Love, man.
Love.
You gotta put a lot of love in there.
You love your food while you're cooking it, love the people you're sharing it with, love the process, love every part and piece of it, and your food is just gonna taste that much better. And these events are fabulous because food is transformative. It brings people together that would never share a space or might not ever cross paths. And we are so blessed to not only get the opportunity to share our culture, but especially our cuisine and our family with our community, but that our community actually loves it in return.
Yeah.
And are open and willing to share with us. I mean, that was Mollie's big takeaway, but again, I'm the entertainer, I'm the front of the house, I'm ticket sales, so I get to engage a lot more with the people that eat our food than maybe Dad and Bill do. So I really get to pick up, and I thrive on that. Hearing people's stories, whether you're Italian or not, to know that a bite of our food reminds them of their childhood and their family and people they maybe haven't seen for many, many moons. There's something truly special in that. And it's a part of the human connection that it shouldn't be, but it's rare. And so we just thank everyone from the bottom of our hearts, from the Community Foundation, of course, for all of the good you do in the community, to Ryan for approaching us and giving us the opportunity to participate in this event, to all of the cousins and friends that helped us make this a reality, to every single one of you that came to the Taste of Italy booth at around the table and shared our food and our love, not only for food and family, but for this fabulous community we work and live in. It was just one of the best days.
That facility, so
yeah.
Yes, actually it's today, starting at noon. Everybody needs to go down and visit the farmers market.
Yeah, and just a side note, we're about this close to being one of the largest farmers markets in the state of Indiana. So take a stroll down. You'll be very impressed. The space is stunning. It's got a good flow. It's got a good energy.
Yeah.
We are blessed to be in the part of Indiana that we're in. So our farmers market, you can get wonderfully locally raised produce, beef, pork, honey. What else am I missing? Flowers. Mushrooms.
Mary Hartley.
So guys, come buy lots and lots of furniture so Mike and Bill can retire and open up your Italian restaurant for you. We had to divide and conquer today, so we've got Bill Graybeal with us. Uncle Bill, we served 475 meatballs on Saturday. Let's talk about it.
Pretty hard work.
Tell me.
Rewarding.
Did you enjoy it?
Had a good time. Had some good help. The kitchen's awesome. I don't know if I'd want to do it for a living.
Right.
I do it occasionally.
I think it'd really take the joy out of it if it was your job, probably.
But it was fun. It's a good weekend.
So what was your favorite part of this experience? This was kind of a throw together. Usually we plan a lot further in advance for stuff. What was the key big takeaway for Bill, highlight?
With the planning that Mike and I did and how we managed to put it together, we had some good help. I thought it went pretty smooth. Mm-hmm. Making the meatballs and cooking them was pretty neat.
If you've got the right people with you, it's always a good time cooking.
And we did have good help. Brett and Chet did a great job. It all just worked out great.
It really did. So let's talk about the day, because you and Dad were really face down in meatballs for most of the day. Did you get the chance to enjoy the event after we ran out of food?
Yeah. I mean, there was enough time there that, I got to poke my head up and look around. Bunch of people there. They all seemed to be having a good time. The other vendors were, I think, happy with the day. The couple that I had an opportunity to talk to.
Did you try any of the other cuisines?
I tried the Taste of the Islands, or the Caribbean stuff. That was really good. And then what did I have? Jackie, my wife, had an egg roll of some kind, and it was good. So it was a great day, all in all.
It was really impressive. I couldn't believe how many people showed up. I was honestly freaking out a little bit.
It was, there were people that were showing up at 5 and after 5 that were
Wanting meatballs.
somewhat disappointed that I wouldn't say a lot of the vendors, but some of the vendors, including us, had run out of food.
So I think something really interesting to note is that we were the only home chefs participating. Every other cuisine was actually an established restaurant. What did that feel like for you? To be a home chef in a sea of professionals?
Mike and I can hold our own.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so how's the tomato crop coming? We spent a lot of time talking about tomatoes earlier.
My plants look wonderful. I'm disappointed in how many tomatoes that are actually on there. I haven't harvested one yet. The wind that came through the other day did some, not damage, but I'm going to have to go in there and restake some stuff and retie them up. But other than that, the garden looks good. Tomatoes look good as long as I hope they turn red soon.
How many cloves of your garlic did we end up going through? How many head? Do you remember?
During this event, or
I
did
suppose
I
that
harvest?
was me. I was the one that was doing garlic. I didn't keep count. No, just from this one event. How much garlic did we use?
In the sauce, I suppose, with all of the sauce, paste, juice, tomatoes that we used, I don't know, maybe a dozen bulbs.
It's not too bad.
No,
So like
no.
12 times 8 clove.
6.
6?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your guys' cloves of garlic are pretty big.
I know. They are.
So cooking that much food for that many people pretty much didn't even make a dent in your garlic stock at home, did it?
Oh God, no. No.
Okay,
Not-
I'm going to ask you another question. Bill Grabiel, what is the most important ingredient in any good food?
Well, the ingredients have got to be good, and you'll
Okay.
end up with a good finished product.
Anything else that you feel like is just numero uno?
Well,
Key to great cooking?
well, you were talking about garlic. You put garlic in everything.
These guys are hysterical. They said the exact same answer. Did you notice? Love. Your food
No.
is 10 times better if it's cooked with love and served with love.
Yeah, and we enjoyed doing it. I know it was funny. On Saturday morning when I got there, I took all the pans of meatballs that had been cooked in sauce out of the fridge and turned the ovens on, and we were warming them up. So they warmed up for a little over an hour, and I took a pan out and looked at it, and I thought, yeah, it's getting warm. It still needs a little time. Mike saw them, and he goes, "Oh my God, Bill, that sauce is way too thick." I wouldn't say he was freaking, but he was definitely concerned.
It was very thick.
It still tasted great, but it had thickened up in the warming up process. And he said, "No, we got to do something." So he ran to the store and got some other ingredients to help thin it out a little bit. And I thought it turned out great, but it was kind of funny how he got intense there for about an hour until he figured out what direction he was going.
It's bound to happen at every Grabiel event. Who it's going to be just depends. I got intense, but only one person saw it. So.
It all turned out great.
Yeah.
So.
10 out of 10, would you do it again?
Yeah, I would like a little bit more time to contemplate how we were doing it, but we managed to threw a lot of sauce together and a bunch of meatballs together in a pretty short time.
Okay, I love
know
it.
It was
I love
exhausting, but yeah, it was fun.
Good.
I'd do it again.
Well, thanks for making the time. Uncle Bill is always so busy. That's why we don't get him in the pod very much. But I appreciate you taking 5 minutes. Here's to tomato season.
For sure. Sooner the better.
I know. I'm ready for him.